Welcome to a special collaboration between Guardian and Thin Brewline Coffee, where we merge our worlds to bring you an exciting new podcast experience.
Today we have Tara, the founder of and CEO of Flame Decon. She's a veteran and has family in the fire service. Her product is tested and proven to reduce carcinogens that are detected long after structure fires. She's well respected in the firefighter community and has helped raise thousands of dollars through a variety of partnerships. Somehow she's found time today to talk with us, and we hope you learn more about Flame Decon and Tara during this episode. So Tara, first two questions. Who is Tara and what is Flame Decon?
Yeah, I am the sister of a firefighter. I am not a firefighter myself. My brother's on the job in San Diego, but I am a veteran. When I was, I'll say, a child, I became an esthetician, and then then joined the Navy. And when I was active duty Navy, I was a journalist, mass communication specialist, and then after that worked for the VA, the Marine Corps, and the Army before launching Flame Decon. So that's kind of my background career-wise. And I live on 5 acres in the mountains of Colorado, where I love the peacefulness of it, and operate my business from here.
With Flame Decon, like where did it get started? What inspired you to start?
Absolutely. So it started in the laundry room in the basement of my rental when I first moved here to Colorado. Very small space. I was making soap down there when Flame first started 5 years ago. So that is where Flame started. And I started Flame because so my mom and I had a gear and gift store for firefighters and their families. And when she originally retired, I changed our mission to firefighter wellness. And looking for products to bring in to fit that mission, I found that there's products out there to clean the apparatus, the gear, the station. I mean, you name it, to reduce carcinogens all over the place. But there was nothing scientifically developed to remove all these carcinogens from firefighters, from the people who get the cancer. So I did a ton of research into how the activated charcoal is the best thing to remove these carcinogens. But then figured out exactly how activated charcoal works to develop our proprietary blend activated charcoal that removes all sizes of carcinogens, then worked with scientists to develop the formulations around it to make sure everything is clean ingredients and is working with the activated charcoal to get the firefighter clean. And we have the testing to show that carcinogens are no longer detectable on the skin after using our products. We've also done testing on gunshot residue, that gunshot residue is no longer detectable on the skin after using our products. So now we're not only working with firefighters, but military, blue collar workers, outdoorsmen, that kind of stuff.
So, and with the activated charcoal before Flame, correct me if I'm wrong, every Decon soap that used activated charcoal, they were just using one type, right? And
yeah, you're absolutely right.
And you changed it. So, are you using more than one type of activated charcoal? Is it the size or blend? What makes it different?
Totally. Let me get just a little nerdy on you for a few minutes a few seconds so I don't lose people. But basically, to remove a carcinogen with activated charcoal, you have to match the pore size of the activated charcoal with the size of the carcinogen you're trying to remove. It gets close. The activated charcoal kind of magnetizes it in. It sticks in there and washes away. So you have to have the right pore size to capture the right size of carcinogen, right? And different carcinogens are different sizes. So let me just give you an example. Say you've got a carcinogen like soot. It has everything, the size range is everything from 0.01 to 1,000 microns in size. And if you have an activated charcoal, say you have like coconut activated charcoal, that's going to remove everything under 2 microns, which is really important for things like colors, odors, and gases. Your gases is a big one for firefighters who are coming into contact with all these toxic gases. But when you have a carcinogen like soot, if you're only removing under 2 microns and leaving the rest of that on the skin, that's super toxic for firefighters. So I've got 4 different types of activated charcoal that remove all sizes of carcinogens, removing all of that soot and all kinds of other carcinogens.
Tara, tell me a little bit more about your process when developing your product. For example, how many prototypes did you make before you settled on a formula that you were comfortable with?
Totally. So I've actually never been asked this question before. And so when I first started working with these scientists, I went to them and said, I want a shampoo and body wash, a 2-in-1, and I want a conditioner. So originally we were working on the 2. I'm going to cut long story short on the conditioner and do that up front. We went through so many prototypes on that and got to a point where I was not satisfied with where we were. It was not a product that I was going to accept and release to my customers. So I signed off on it and took the formulation, filed it in a file, and it's sitting there. It's still sitting there, and it'll always be sitting there because once I come out with one, it will be a completely different formulation from that. I have high standards when it comes to the products. I want it to be something, one, obviously that works really well, but also that that people like to use, that actually works to get your hair and your body clean, that leaves it feeling good, that smells good. So those are we have standards for our products.
I really appreciate that you care about the integrity of your product. So which leads me to my next question. Tell us more about the testing process you've had to go through in order to validate that Flame successfully removes carcinogens.
Totally. So let me backtrack really quick though, because I'd love to tell you about the shampoo and body wash development. So then with the shampoo and body wash development though, worked with the scientists, told them exactly what I wanted in the ingredients, because we have all very clean ingredients. You look us up on the Yucca app, we've got 93 out of 100, which is excellent. And so I wanted super clean ingredients. So the first round they sent me, I looked through and I said, these 3 ingredients are not clean, take them out, replace them with something else that's clean ingredients. So we did that. The next one that they sent me that was really clean ingredients, my first thought was like, can this just moisturize a little more? Like it feels really squeaky clean. So we went through, I think 5 or 6 rounds of stuff after that. And then I was like, wait, go back to that one. So our products leave your hair feeling squeaky clean for a reason. You know, they're getting all that garbage out. Your hair and body is left feeling clean, but also refreshed and smooth. And that's why people use a conditioner afterwards. But yeah, we use super clean ingredients, and it's meant to get you clean.
So let me get this right. You like you care so much about your product that you got it right, and then you still made variations after that just to make sure you did get it right.
Yeah.
And then you went back to that. That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so the testing process, right? So the lab that we work with came out with this really cool way of testing that hadn't been done before, where they're able to actually test on human skin, actually do swabbing tests on human skin, which before you're looking at like pig skin, you know, different animal skins, testing on an orange peel, that kind of stuff, which we know none of that represents human skin. They came out with this new testing process. We were the first ones to work with them with it. Our first round of testing was during the Marshall Fire here in Colorado, biggest wildland structure fire that Colorado's ever seen. So a lot of exposure there, very similar exposures to what we just saw in California. And that came back showing that, after the fire, very high levels of carcinogens on the skin. After using our products, the swab matched they compared it to a blank swab. It was almost identical to the blank swab. And then our next round of testing we did while our lab was there at FDIC with Eckert Fire Tactics after their live training burn. So one of their guys swabbed and then took a shower with Flame, swabbed again. We took that right over to the lab at FDIC. They took that back, ran the testing, and that's where they were able to, at that point, they had made the testing better and were able to then pull out exactly what carcinogens were what and tell us exactly what was on the skin. And then after using Flame, that all of those things that were on the skin were no longer detectable on the skin, that they were completely gone.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to just kind of develop that with them. Their company grew as we did.
It must have been exciting to be a part of some of that cutting edge testing that you guys got to collaborate on.
Absolutely.
Now, for customers that are interested in using your product, how do they use it instead of, in comparison with just normal body wash? Do they have to lather up and really scrub it in a lot longer, or is it the same thing as
That's
any?
the coolest thing about it, is that you can just swap it out and use it in place of your regular body wash. Here's the only thing that I'll say there, because people use it and then they'll use a different temperature of water, which you really shouldn't, because here's the thing. There's a lot of misinformation out there about, like, you should take a really hot shower, you should take a cold shower first, I see it all over the place. And if you think about how your pores work, if you put cold water on your body, it's going to close down your pores. If you put hot water on your body, it's going to open them up and allow your body to absorb carcinogens more, right? So if you're closing down your pores, you can be closing down carcinogens inside your pores. You open them up, it gives your body that opportunity to absorb more before you get it off your skin. So really, regular shower temperature, lukewarm water, shower with Flame first. And then if you want to turn up the shower hotter after that and take a hotter shower, great. If you're one of those people that likes to go out and get in a cold plunge afterwards, have at it.
Oh, just so I understand a little bit more about the decontamination process, Brandon, you're in the fire service right now. So what is the normal protocol after you come back from a scene regarding how to, remove those contaminants from your person?
Yeah, so I know Tara's probably familiar with this too. It's it's changed over the last 9 years since I've been in, and I know even before that it was very different than it is today. But also, it's just very inconsistent is the problem. There are protocols and things you're supposed to do, but it's not uncommon for a firefighter to go into a structure fire, big, small, a lot of exposure, a little exposure, whatever it is, car fire, just take their gear off in the truck, leave it there, hang it back up, touch it with their bare hands. Sometimes people do a dry decon where they'll set up a fan and simply blow and brush off just like drywall particles or soot or whatever. And in some cases, people scrub each other down with a brush and a hose connected to the fire truck. It's very inconsistent. I like to say the fire service is 10 years behind where they should be. Although I think Tara might be 10 years ahead of where she should be with the decon stuff. But so it's very inconsistent. And they're doing better now, where like you get back to the station and people are like, okay, hey, we're going to go out of service. We're going to wash our clothes. Everybody take a shower. But guess what? If you're on the way back from a structure fire and you need to decon and medical call or another fire call comes out down the road, you're not just going to pass it. So in some cases, it might be a few hours before you can decon. So a long way to say it's inconsistent. People are trying to do better. And there is a lot of misinformation out there too. That's part of the problem. So I think departments and firefighters are doing their best to navigate through all that.
Absolutely. Well, I think one of the biggest misinformation hurdles that we'll be tackling for a while is the Dawn dish soap problem.
I'm not gonna say for 8 years I used Dawn dish soap to try to decon after the burn building or structure fire, but that's what everybody tells me, but or that's what everybody told me. Hey, you should do this. It works.
Right?
It doesn't work. You smell like smoke for 3 days. But I have used Flame Decon, and I swear by it because it was for the first time in 8 or 9 years that I didn't smell like smoke and didn't have that lingering smell. And also, when you don't have that smell mentally, you just feel better because you're like, wow, I think I actually got this stuff off of me for once.
Yeah, absolutely. That
Yeah.
smell is a telltale sign for sure. And the one thing that I will say about Dawn dish soap is just go to EWG Skin Deep and look up the ingredients.
I saw that when you had y'all's rating,
Yeah.
given the 93, I
Yeah.
think it was.
Mhm.
Yeah, I looked through some of those other soaps and I was like, oh man, why are all the ones I've ever used like a 10 or a 14? Makes
It's
you think.
shocking.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about some of the collaborations and fundraisers that you've been a part of in the recent years. Can you give us a little bit more insight as to what you've been up to?
Yeah, absolutely. So every season we have our seasonal soap bundle where we partner with 3 firefighter small businesses. And so we do a collaboration soap with them. So they have their soap in the bundle with their logo on it. They pick out the scent that they want their soap to be. And they also pick out a nonprofit that they want $1 from each bar that's sold of theirs to go to. So it's really cool to be able to donate to all kinds of different nonprofits. And I often get nonprofits, thrown at me, for lack of a better word, that for the seasonal soap bundle that I've never heard of before. But there are some really great nonprofits out there doing great things for the community and that are really awesome to be able to donate to at the end of the season.
I don't know if you're able to elaborate on this, but I know you helped do fundraising for like the wildfires in California recently and some others. Do you know how much money like in like the last year or the last series of fundraising you raised? Because if I remember, it was respectable.
Yeah. So for the fires in California, we had so many people step up. So what we like to do with those things is our single-use packs of shampoo and body wash are great for those guys because as soon as they can get a shower, it's something they can have in their pack and go take a shower and get actually clean. So what we do is we mark it down as much as we can and then ask for help from the community. So we do 50% off of our single-use packs, and then the community does will pay for however many single-use packs they want us to send out to these fires or natural disasters. We've done hurricane zones before. And this time, thankfully, we had thousands of them purchased and donated. And we were able to, one morning I met up with some Boulder firefighters as they were driving out to the California fires and was able to hand over some cases to them. Then we ended up sending just by mail to firefighters out there that live in the area and to take into the fires, several more cases. I wish I remembered numbers off the top of my head and because I'd tell you, but it was a lot and it was really cool. And I love to just be able to participate in that with the community. Like I could not do that without the help of the community. It's really all them. So, and same with the seasonal soap bundles. I mean, it's people's purchases that makes that happen, so it's really cool though. Another thing we were able to do last year was we went out to California for Battle for Mental Health, which is a boxing competition that they do to raise money for Next Strong. So we took a bunch of think it was 100 soaps, something like that out there, and sold those and then just donated all of the money to Next Strong for that. So it
That's
feels
awesome.
good to be able to do that stuff, and just
Yeah, that has to be very rewarding. Any
Yeah.
collections on the horizon?
Yeah, so we've got our new seasonal soap bundle that just came out with Insight Fire Training, Capital Fire Training, and Hasty Rescue Strap. So they've all picked their nonprofits, and we're rolling with that now. Yeah.
How long does the seasonal that window last typically?
3 months each, so full season, if you will. Yeah.
Gotcha. And it's like if you make a purchase, you're getting all three. Is that how that works?
Exactly.
All three
Yep.
sets? Yeah.
All three
Awesome.
come in the bundle. Yeah.
So before we started recording, we were talking about FDIC a little bit and how I was talking with John from Rescue One, and you knew him and you met him at FDIC, and FDIC is coming up, so I assume you're going to that.
Absolutely. We'll
yep,
be there in Firefighter Row. Those guys have, I am not a firefighter, like I said, but they have adopted me as their little sister, and I'm forever grateful, and it's incredible.
And how long have you been going to FDIC? And well, the first time were you like nervous, and now you're, like you said, you're in.
So this is, I think, year 5. Our first year, John and I actually shared a booth our first year, and we're like inside the hall, and it was super slow because it was COVID, like nobody was there. But honestly, I mean, we paid a lot to be there for no one to be there, but it was also a good year to just kind of get our feet wet and see what the heck was going on. Because it's a big show for someone to jump into. And now we're out in Firefighter Row where it's so busy and amazing. And we've got a really cool booth planned for this year. And I've got an amazing team coming out this year. So I'm really excited about it.
Tara, I know that running a business can be a very chaotic endeavor to embark upon. You and I have kind of talked about that.
Yes.
You're running your business, doing order fulfillment, marketing, coming up with your strategies. What I'm really interested in, and I know Brandon is too, is whenever we talk to people that have their own company, especially within the first responder community, because not everybody has a business background. So what have you found to be really helpful in organizing your business process?
I'm going to be so honest here. For 4.5 years, I ran around like a chicken with my head cut off, like chaos. Hardly any organization anywhere because you have so much to do. The to-do list every day is never ending. And it's all on you. You have to keep every single ball in the air. And I think that what's been key lately, just really over the last 6 months to a year, is finally getting to a point where one by one, I can start to make this look like a business rather than just me running around like a chicken with my head cut off, and putting people in place to really make that happen. I have somebody who does customer service for me now. I have somebody who does social media content planning and puts those reels and stuff together. She also does 4 emails a week for me. I just brought on a national sales rep. I just turned over all of my shipping to Notorious Fire, keeping it in the fire service, but he's going to be like my 3PL drop shipping type thing for me, which is so cool. So being able to just kind of have different people come in and help at different points, and take one thing off my plate at a time and get more organized. Again, have a business look like a business has been the most helpful thing lately, because until you're to that point where you can do that, you truly just have to do it all yourself and find a way to make it work.
You're absolutely right. The economy of time is real, and
Yeah.
you have to outsource some of the things that maybe you're not as skilled in or have as much expert knowledge. I know Brandon and I talk about that as well with our respective companies. And so it sounds like really finding and recruiting your team has really enabled you to focus on building your business. Am I hearing you right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Even when it comes to like my team that goes to FDIC with me, not all of them work for the business. Most of them don't. They volunteer to come to FDIC with me, but they come every year. I have a couple of new people this year just because we needed a couple more people. But like they know my business inside and out for FDIC, and they are kind, energetic people that want to see my business grow. And it's truly having the right people in place wherever you are in your business.
Was that ever difficult with like, you grow your business and you spend all these hours, blood, sweat, and tears, and then you start letting kind of people in and helping. Was that like hard at first, or are these people you already knew before the business, so maybe that transition was easier?
Very difficult. I have been burned so bad before by hiring a friend, frankly. So I think that's one thing that you just have to be very, very picky about who you bring into your business. And after I was burned by this person, I heard some, and I wish I could remember who it was, talking about hiring people into your business. And their advice was truly listen to your gut. You really have to, when you are bringing people in, if it's someone you've known before or someone that you've just interviewed, listen to your gut about that person. If you don't think that they're going to be good for your business, don't hire them. If you get done with an interview and it's not somebody that you're looking forward to talking to again, don't hire them, because you're going to have to talk to them every day.
That might be a red flag, huh, Tara?
Totally. Yeah.
What have you found to be useful when trying to learn a new process or something that you're really not an expert in? I know I'm not an accounting whiz, so I have to find resources. And people, they seek out various methods, where they're just going online, or they may have a family member or relative who can have that expert knowledge. Or some people just outright, find and select a service that engages in whatever it's like business consulting, marketing, strategy, etc. What have you found to be some of the most useful resources when trying to learn about business?
I hate that I'm giving you a one-word answer here. Google. I mean,
it's fast and easy knowledge, so I don't blame you.
You go down a Google rabbit hole until you find what you're looking for, because every day there's different challenges that you've got to figure out, But I've also, along the way, taken different business courses online, and I'm not one that's going to go invest $10,000 into some business coach or something like that, right? I think that if those people truly knew business, they'd be running their business instead of trying to teach other people to be so frank. But I will buy a course that's going to teach me how to buy paid ads on social media, because I don't know how to do that. And if there's a course out there that can teach me how to do that and do it effectively, so I'm not wasting my money, I'm willing to invest in that. But yeah, I think that it's important to find the resources that you need when you need them. But I think there's also, YouTube University, Google University is also the most valuable tool most of the time,
I agree with you completely, Tara. Have you come across any Google traps where you got some really bad advice? Like you saw something online and you ran with it, invested in it, and it turned out to be an absolute flop?
I don't think so. I pride myself on being pretty good at sniffing out the bullshit.
Yeah, I was gonna say you seem kind of the person that whatever you read, you're gonna validate it and put it against the fire
For sure.
and try to see. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Tara, outside of your role with Flame Decon, what do you like to do in your free time? What are you doing on the weekends to recharge your battery?
I'm not real sure what free time is, but I will take time at the house here. I actually do a lot of DIY on my house, home improvement projects. My house, you can see behind me here, is a 1935 in the mountains of Colorado. And when I bought her, she was old and ugly. So you can see my kitchen behind me. I actually, you can't see it very well, but I installed all the cabinets myself. I installed the cabinets to ceiling backsplash myself. Those floating shelves up there, I did that myself. I rebuilt my deck outside last summer myself.
Wow.
And then I also have a little side-by-side that I go out and plow the snow when it snows. And I a lot of women these days am into doing sourdough.
I'm asking this because my wife is a great baker. Do you have like your own sourdough starter? How did you go down that process? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Did you get it right the first time and keep it alive, or?
So I started with one of the like dry dehydrated starters. And my first one I let sit in my fridge for too long and she got pink and moldy and I had to throw her out. But the second one so far has been good. I should bake with her again soon. It's been a few weeks, but yeah.
Not to stereotype you sourdough starters, but did you get interested in sourdough during COVID too?
No, I think it's probably been, I've only been into it like a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of people are really into, I don't know what it is about sourdough. My sister got into it during COVID and it's delicious. So I'm the tester of that. So
Love it. I love it. Listen, you got to remember, I actually, I don't know if you guys know this. I still make all of our products by hand myself. So that's my sourdough.
So that's incredible, Tara. I didn't know that. How labor intensive is that?
Insanely. Yeah. Both the shampoo and body wash and the soap and the hand soap and the laundry detergent, all of them take 6 to 8 hours to make themselves. And then the ones that need to be bottled, I bottle them a separate day. So that takes at least half a day the next day to bottle. And depending on what it is, I'm making anywhere between 200 and 500 bottles a day in a batch.
So I don't understand how you don't have free time.
Totally.
I know. So you call it the lab, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's actually attached to my house. Like you go down those stairs right there and make a left and there's a door separating the house and the lab, but it's right there.
And so I know you have to like make the product one day, package it another. Do you have like 2 set days a week typically that you do that portion, or is it you got to do it as the orders come? And
I make the product as needed right now. I'm making a lot because we've got a lot of department orders to fill. I also just sent a lot of product to Lenny, who's doing our customer order fulfillment right now, that I just turned over. And then also with FDIC, and I've got a couple of other big conferences coming up. I've got to get product ready for that. So yeah.
What's the shelf life of your products?
2 years on everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
what other conferences off the top of your head are you going to?
Totally. I've got some really cool ones. So I started Flame for firefighters because my brother's a firefighter, right? Like I want him to be here for his kids. I want you guys to be around for your families. My dad died at 51 when I was 25 years old and overseas with the military. So I know what it's like to lose a parent too early, and I don't want that for my niece and nephew. They always grab my throat. But so I started with the fire service and am slowly starting to branch out because there are so many other people that can use our products. You've got military, you've got construction workers, oil workers, mechanics, outdoorsmen. So the two other conferences that I'm going to this year are SOF Week, so Special Operations Forces Week in Tampa, and then Outdoor Retailer in Salt Lake City, where all kinds of different retail stores that stock products for outdoors people come and find new products for their stores. So hopefully they will both be fruitful and just kind of getting our name out there. I'm just going for brand awareness for both of those to start reaching out into other industries.
Tara, when you get customer feedback, what is the most compelling, element that keeps customers, in coming back for additional products? Like what's the hook? What is it, not having that odor of smoke lingering on their skin, or is there something else?
There's that. It's the odor. A lot of times, people will be like, I went home and my spouse couldn't smell it on me, and they usually can 3 fires later. It's the peace of mind of knowing that you've removed the carcinogens and lowered your risk of getting cancer. You're not taking it home to your spouse and your children. That peace of mind is a big one. And really, two of the big driving factors, though, in people that are able to actually use the product then are, one, they love to use it. It smells good. It feels good. It leaves them feeling good and smelling good. But also, most people are so skeptical when they first hear about it. They're like, this is gimmicky. This is snake oil. This is a money grab. And then they use it and realize how much has gone into this and that it actually works and there's clean ingredients. And it's truly a lot of people go from being a complete skeptic and like, I guess I'll give it a try, to getting out of the shower and smelling themselves and, being like, oh my God, this works. Which is incredibly rewarding for me to hear from those people that were just so skeptical.
I think that's amazing. I actually want to try it now.
Oh, good. Send me your address.
What surprised me, Tara, is, I get the bottle because anytime Guardian partners with anyone, we like test drive whatever product or service they have. Yeah. And so when I gave Flame a test drive, I couldn't believe like how little goes such a long way. So like the bottle doesn't look like one of these huge bottles you see at the grocery store or whatever, but the bottle lasts a while actually.
So intentional. You guys don't need to be carrying around a big bottle when you're going back and forth to the station if you're carrying it back and forth with you, right? I got it right here, but water is our 6th ingredient. Mm-hmm. So it's super concentrated. There's not a whole lot of water in it. When with most products, you're going to find water is the first ingredient. It's super diluted. So it's very concentrated and you really don't need much.
All right, Tara. So let's have a little fun.
Yeah.
It's our fishbowl segment. So basically what I'm going to do is draw a really random question and give us your best answer. So The question is, what is your go-to guilty pleasure song?
Okay, I'm going to tell you one that's been one of my favorites that anytime it comes on, I'm like, I love this. Two Princes, Spin Doctors.
I don't know it either. So what was the name of it?
Probably because I'm a lot older than you guys. Two Princes, Spin Doctors. Like, it is an old song, but like, since I was a little kid, I've loved just like it's nothing about the lyrics, anything like that. It's just like, it just feels good.
Tara, one last question before I do like an outro. I wanted to ask about like advice you'd have to other firefighter or first responder companies out there when there's a lot of good products and services out there, but what would your message to them be on the importance of reinvesting or doing fundraisers, giving back, the importance of that? Because a lot of people that are in our circuit, we like to call, do a lot of the giving back and fundraising. And I see how you kind of light up when we talk about it. And when the other people we talk with, they it makes them feel good. And just if you had advice to them on the importance of giving back, what would you say?
Absolutely. It has to be a reason. It has to be a reason that you're here. It has to be the reason that you started your business and the reason that it functions. All of these nonprofits that we give to and the events that I go to give back, those are all peripheral stuff that, yes, I really enjoy, but the root of my business is giving back, is giving to the fire service. I've been in business 5 years now, and I work every single day. I truly don't take days off. And most days it's from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed. And last year, Tara, made $20,000 from my business. That's it. The rest of it went back into the business so that we can continue to grow and continue to help firefighters. So I think if like the root of your business isn't right, isn't for the right reasons, I don't want to say you're doing a disservice to the fire service, but I think you're doing a disservice to yourself because your business isn't going to last. I don't think if you're just in it for the money, like people can see through that and they will. And you won't be around long.
No, and firefighters are really good at sniffing that out. Like, and they'll tell you quick.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
So as we close, where can people learn more about Flame Decon? What's like your Instagram page and other social media if you have them?
All of our socials are at Flame Decon, and Instagram, Facebook, X, and TikTok. And then flamedecon.com is our website.
Perfect. Well, thank you. I am very thankful for your time, and we will be doing a lot of work this year. We'll talk about that some other time, but thank you from me and Jordan, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you. I really appreciate it, guys.